Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how I made this solid walnut box with some felt or velvet lining for some shoes that I bought for my wife for her birthday. To make the box I'm using this piece of walnut. It's about 3 meters long. As you can see, it's pretty big. It's about 2 centimeters or 20 mil thick and about 14.5 centimeters wide. I need to use the full 14.5 centimeter width where possible, and despite me probably picking the best piece that the timber merchants had, this one's still got a bit of a defect here. I don't know enough about wood to know what that defect is, but it looks where it's on the edge, it just looks like where there's been a bit of an imperfection in the wood. So I'm going to mark where it is, because I know I'm not going to want to be using it. The boards are a little bit uneven, so there's a bit of a rock on them from side to side, so I'm going to put them over the planer just to flatten them out. So just a few passes and that's the rock of it taken out completely. I'm going to thickness it down now so it's all at the right thickness. So that's all the pieces thickness down. They're just over, well, just about 19 mil. Because the timber was already sawn and planed, the edges are nice and straight, so I don't have to put them on the jointer, which is a bit of a result, and it means I can use the full width of the walnut. I'm going to use 2 pieces for the top, and in particular one of these that's got an imperfection along it, because I'm going to actually need to trim it down anyway, so I can cut that off later. I'm going to glue these together like so, and because it's the top, because they're not completely flat, doesn't make a great deal of difference. This side's slightly higher than this side. It's okay here. I can always plane that down later with a hand plane. This is my wood glue. It's just normal wood glue. But a little tip for you, I put a screw in the top to stop it going hard, and it's a stainless steel screw, so the screw doesn't rust and it keeps the glue in good condition. As you can see, the screw's been in there quite a while and it hasn't rusted. Just using these strips of wood to protect the workpiece. So that's the top all clamped up. It was actually a bit fiddly. I tried to get it so that it was as level as possible on what's going to be the top. Just going to leave it to dry overnight now. Before I go any further, now that I've cut all the 4 pieces on the 45 degrees, I've just test fitted them together and clamped them using this clamp. This is just to check that all the joints are at 45 degrees, it all fits together as it should, and it does. So now I can go about putting a rebate round the bottom to fit the base. For the base, as it's not going to be visible, I'm just going to use some 5mm plywood to cut the rebate out. I'm just going to use my table saw, and I'm going to set the height using this gauge. So I'm going to set the height for 6mm. The wood's 18mm, so it should give a decent amount of support. Before I make the proper cuts, I've done a test cut. It took me a couple of goes to make sure I was getting it right. The blade width's 3mm, so I did a 3mm cut with the fence set at a 5mm gap, and then I moved the fence 2mm, just bang on 2mm, and now the 5mm ply fits, and it fits really well. It's a really good sturdy fit, so I'm going to make those cuts now. So I've got the base cut now. It's going to sit inside the box. I'm going to do a test fit. Seems to fit really well. Also, the finish of the ply actually looks, because it's hardwood ply, it actually doesn't look too bad even though it's plywood, but it's going to get covered up anyway. I'm going to glue the box together now. I've put it up against the tray edge just to make sure it's all going to be completely flat, and I'm going to use some of this masking tape just to tape it along the outside so I can then fold it up and glue it together. So that's all the tape applied, and I've turned it over, so I'm going to put the glue in now. So all the glue's in. There's a bit of squeeze out, but it's nothing to worry about. I'm going to sand the outside, and the inside's going to be covered up anyway, so you won't see any of the glue marks. I just want to make sure that the joints are all completely square now. It looks like this one needs a bit of tweaking, so I'm just going to adjust it. That's everything squared up and clamped down now. So I'm just going to leave the glue to dry overnight, and then we can put the lid on. So the box is all glued together now. I'm quite pleased with how it's come out. Got a bit of squeeze out along here and here, but I'm going to sand all the outside, and there is a little bit of squeeze out of glue on the inside of the box, but it's all going to be covered up, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to look to fit the lid now.